Video podcasting is one of the best ways to grow our audience, both on audio and here on YouTube, but it can be a little bit intimidating, especially for podcasters who tend to think audio first. So here's a quick and easy video podcast setup with minimal lights. Let's get into it. Now, welcome to Creative Tech Lab. My name is Leo. To set the scene here real quick, my son, who is only 7 years old, had a project to do for school where he needed to interview a family member. He chose to do his mother. They was only supposed to use cell phone and do it really amateur, and I was like, yo, give me 15 minutes and let me see what I can cook up. Now that 15 minutes actually turned into 35, but this is what we ended up with here. Wide, 2 tights, this lighting setup. Let me go ahead and break it all down for you. Now, even though this is a lighting tutorial, let me just talk about the audio here real quick, because audio is more important than video. I was supposed to be running these 2 Sennheiser mics there, but it was giving me problem in the interface. So they ended up just being a podcast decoration. However, whenever it is that you're doing something like this, you do want to double mic. So I did have these DJI mic kit on them as lavaliers. If you need to be more professional, you could have something that didn't show. But double miking will always save you in case one of the audio sources do not work out. And then speaking of cameras, we have a 3 camera setup here, a wide and 2 tights. Please excuse the bad angle on the example with just me and my wife. I'd bumped one of the cameras, and because I wasn't behind it, it was out of angle there, so it's not exactly right. However, one thing to note there when it is that you're shooting with multiple cameras is to make sure that you set the white balance on all the cameras to be the same, so you're not getting any weird color shifts between angles. Link to a video right here on how to set a custom white balance on your Sony cameras. So I didn't get to dial things in perfectly because nobody wanted to wait for me, so the house lights were on, but the star of this whole lighting setup is the main key light. I have a Nanlite FS300 with a big parabolic softbox there that is giving you this light source, and that's doing most of the heavy lifting. To be honest with you, if you're really on a budget, you could probably get away with lighting this entire scene with just this light, and this works with 2 reasons. One is that the softbox is so large that it's able to cover enough space for both of us. And then from a podcast just angle setup, this table is not particularly wide or huge, so we're close enough to each other to where it is that we could use one light to light both of us. This is really useful, again, if you're on a budget and you have minimal equipment, in order to get a shot like this done. Now, because I do have some additional lights lying around, I use these 2 Pavitube 15Cs just to give some backlight behind us and give us some hair lights. I think a hair light is something that really goes over well for our particular shots. Now, I didn't dial them in particularly. They're probably a little bit too bright, but they still do add a lot to the scene, particularly with the tree in the background there giving you that warm light. I had it set to 2700, so it's giving you that nice hair light that you see here on both of the different angles. So if I turn off all the lights here in the scene, you can see what it looks like. Again, some house lights were on in the room that was in front of us, so it's not completely blacked out and dark. But you can see when I turn on the hair light here, it's giving me a nice light on my head, but it's spilling way over to my wife. Same thing when I turn on hers, it's spilling over to my face as well. But once you turn the key light on, you can see it lights up the entire room. It's going far back. It definitely could have had some additional lights there, but we just didn't have them in the background to light up the background a little bit more. But the whole thing kind of comes together really well with just 3 lights. So let me run through that one more time just on the tight shots. You can see hair light on me, then hair light on my wife, and you can see how that's spilling over into my face. And then key light on for me, key light on for her. And then that's what the wide looks like. And that's how you get a nice, easy podcast setup. Hopefully now you're ready to go shoot your own video podcast. Links to all the gear will be down below. And then if you want to know how to edit a video like this in Final Cut Pro, go ahead and click this video right here of how to edit multicam in Final Cut Pro. And I'll see you over there in the next one. Big up yourself. Peace.